Supernanny Jo Frost has revealed she loves how Kate Middleton addressed in public how cheeky Prince Louis needed to listen and do as told during the Jubilee celebrations. The 4-year-old royal stole the limelight at the Platinum Jubilee pageant, showcasing amusing expressions as he sat next to his mother, the Duchess of Cambridge, in the royal box during the 4th day of Platinum Jubilee celebrations. At times, he was seen clenching his fists, sticking out his tongue, waving his arms in the air, putting his hands over his mother's mouth and standing in his seat for a better view of the spectacle. The Duchess of Cambridge was seen leaning into him at one point, apparently to ask him to calm down. However, Supernanny star Jo has now weighed in on the way Kate handled her young son's behavior, commenting on her Lo's Instagram page, "Love how mum is addressing in public Prince Louis needing to listen up and do as his sick told." Social media users were delighted by Louis' antics, with one writing, "Prince Louis being iconic as always," while another added, "Prince Louis' facial expressions are as legendary as ever." Behind the little prince, who arrived alongside his sister Princess Charlotte, 7, brother Prince George, 8, and father Prince William, 39, sat Mike Tindall, who at one point entertained the boy with funny faces to keep him amused. The former England rugby player Tindall, sitting in the row behind, gestured and pointed to his eyes that he was keeping watch over him, as Kate chuckled at their interaction. Prince Louis deserves his own meme section. "I can't with how expressive his face is. Love you little bug," wrote another social media user on Twitter. Another person posted online, "Unfortunately for Prince Louis, he can't be mischievous because Mike will make sure he behaves," while one added, "Love this photo of Mike Tindall teasing Prince Louis and making sure he's well behaved for the Platinum Jubilee pageant." Kate stroked Louis's shoulder before he got out of his seat and walked to his left. The 4-year-old prince then sat on his grandfather Prince Charles' lap, who rocked him from side to side. He was then seen back with his mother, Mia Tindall sat on her father Mike's lap at one point in the concert, while Lena Tindall sat on her cousin Savannah Phillips' lap. Meanwhile, the Princess Royal sat and clapped along to Call the Gang's celebration. The prince had delighted royal fans by stealing the show on the balcony on Thursday after trooping the colour. He let out a howl and covered his ears during the flypast, and his Gan the Queen sweetly interacted with her great-grandson, leaning down to chat to him and point out the planes. Others in the royal box included Princess Eugenie, who bounced her baby son August on her lap. The 1-year-old was wearing a jumper with a Union flag on the front. Immediately to his left, the prince's 2 elder siblings Prince George and Princess Charlotte sat near their father and cut stately figures as they watched the proceedings. As Prince George stood for part of the parade, he mirrored his father William, both adjusting the front of their jackets at the same time. He was also spotted resting his head on his hand during the 2.5-hour show. The Prince of Wales stood to receive the salute from troops of the Household Division. He nodded in turn to the 42 units marching round the Queen Victoria Memorial. Other members of the royal family in the box included Princess Beatrice and Zara Tindall, with the Tindalls' 2 eldest children, Mia and Lena. A colourful street pageant celebrating Queen Elizabeth II's life and highlighting Britain's diversity paraded through central London on Sunday, the final day of a long holiday weekend honouring the monarch's 70 years on the throne. Royal fans were hoping to see another glimpse of the 96-year-old Queen later at Buckingham Palace, where the parade ends, and she didn't disappoint, appearing on the balcony. With the ringing of bells at Westminster Abbey, a spectacular military parade featuring 200 horses began the ceremony as they marched down the Mall to Buckingham Palace. They flanked the Gold State Coach, a gilded carriage that transported the Queen to her coronation 69 years ago.